To recreate this makeup look together, I'm taking Base Shade 2. I always use Base Shade 2 for like a softer, more toned down makeup look, as I will go in with a bronzer first as my like transition shade. So I'm taking the All Over the Place face palette from P. Louise, and I'm taking the lighter bronzer of the two, and I'm taking a big fluffy brush and I'm sweeping this in big circular motions all across the lid, kind of focusing above like my natural crease line, because this is going to be my lightest shade. And it doesn't matter if I pull this out too much across the lid, because we are going to be cleaning up anyway later on with liners and stuff. Then I'm going to take the Secret Sinner palette from P. Louise, and I'm going to go into the shade Fling, and I'm going to raise my eyebrows so I can really see the depth of like the eye socket, and I'm going to begin by packing the shade in and then slightly blending it out towards the middle of the eye. Then I'm going to take this shade Love Struck on a smaller blending brush. Normally with my blending techniques I go darkest to lightest and small brush to big brush. But when I'm doing a softer glam, I actually work backwards, as I just find it transitions the shades easier for me anyway, because I just kind of find softer glams a bit more trickier, because I'm so used to doing like heavy, like technical makeup for like super deep pigmented blendings. So this is a technique that I find has been working when I try like a kind of like a softer, more toned down makeup. So I'm taking the shade Love Struck just about halfway across, because I'm going to be going back in with my base shade 2 to pack across the lid, because I'm going to be placing shimmer on my eye too. So I'm using my base shade 2 as kind of like my eraser today, rather than cut cover, just because I don't have much shadow on the lid. If you do have like a lot of shadow over on like towards the inner corner, you can use cut cover to clean it up. Today I'm just using the base because I'm kind of going for like the more softer focused down look. And then I'm going to take a single shadow pigment. This one isn't actually really that pigmented, I find, so I'm just going to use that as like a shimmer base topper. So what I mean by that is I'm going to take different shimmers in a second to like pack up the pigment. I did actually take it on a brush, and now I really dogged the brush into the product. That's why it looks so pigmented here. But I'm going to also take a liquid glitter, like a liquid eyeshadow. This is a blank canvas one, and I'm going to use the wetness from this and take the glitter bomb from Revolution. This one is called Interrupted, and so cut me off there, the cheek. So I am going to take my liquid first, and before the liquid sets, that's what I'm going to use as like my tacky base to put the loose Revolution glitter on. So I'm not using like too much glitter. I just kind of wanted like, how do you describe it, like different gradients, like different textures of glitter. So like the more you move around, you're kind of picking up different kind of reflex of glitter. Then I'm going to blend back in with Love Struck just to erase any harsh line where the shimmer is meeting the shadow, just so it kind of looks nice and like a seamless blend. Even though it's a soft glam, I still like my blend to look somewhat seamless, which then kind of makes my makeup become not soft because I've focused on my blending again. But I'm going to take Barbie Boo paint for a winged liner today. I always use a 125 angled liner brush from P. Louise for this, as I just find it is the flattest brush. I also have my brush glued, so it's like super thin. So I begin by like, I've actually gone lower with my liner today because I wanted my lashes to still show the liner. And in the end I actually changed my lashes, so it didn't really even make a difference. But this is just the technique I use for my liner, and I just find it like the easiest. So I kind of do like the kind of like a sideways triangle first before like meet the rest of my liner up. I will then go into the inner corner and then meet in the middle, and that's just kind of how I do my liner, and it's the technique I seem to be finding works the easiest for me. Then I'm going to take more base shade 2 and just sharpen up the edge of the liner. So this is just going to make everything sharp. Again, you don't have to do this, but I know I'm doing a soft glam, but I kind of turned it slightly more to the heavy side, which wasn't supposed to happen, but I do think it kind of just works. I'm just so used to doing these heavier glams that soft glam just needs some sharpness. It just needs some precision for me. I'm also going to take Barbie Boo paint in the waterline, and then I'm going to also chop underneath with my base shade 2. I do normally use base shade 1, but for soft glams I just take base shade 2. Then afterwards I'm going to fill in my eyebrow, but I'm not doing anything too heavy on the eyebrow. I'm just lightly flicking in with a pencil because it's a soft glam, so I'm going for like a soft brow. And that is like the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it, and I've tried to not make it too long and boring, but I hope you've like grasped something from it, or you've learned something from it. Let me know if you have enjoyed it and if you'd like to see more. And I have sped some parts up because I just thought people might find it boring, so I'm sorry if it is still boring, but I never took a full video, so I only have a small clip.